Good morning. Look who's joining us for chair yoga this morning. We got Noonie the Wonder Dog. Anyway, we are focusing on the heart this week. This is our last practice for this week because Saturday I am not holding practice. We are focused on this mudra today, the Purna Hridaya Mudra, which is the gesture of the open heart. So all those selfies you see when people have the hearts up on the, you can take that mudra. So let's sit down and talk about that, and then we'll move into our heart opening practice. Join me on the chair, on the mat, by the dog. So as I said, the Purna Hridaya Mudra is the gesture of the open heart. You can also place it, down here, up here, wherever you want your gesture to be. But it's really a reminder to us that we are encouraged to be expressive of our thoughts and our feelings. And we know the consequences when we hold them in. One of the consequences, of course, is, increased stress. Maybe by not expressing our thoughts and feelings, increased anxiety, increased depression, maybe increased pain in different parts of the body. So this mudra is especially helpful for our emotional well-being, releasing constriction from our chest. When you feel anxious, you feel like you have a load sitting on your shoulders. People will say they just feel tight in the chest area, improving your breath capacity. So we're going to focus on deep breathing this morning, enhancing your immunity, and supporting treatment of depression. So really, what I've been focusing on this week is this idea that we all have the right to our thoughts and our feelings. We all have the right to express them. And I am inviting you this week to really think on that. Think on the benefits of not holding it in. And what happens when we do? What happens when we kick the can down the road? What happens when we prevent ourselves from saying what we think or finding a way to be expressive? So I invite you to think about this as you head into your weekend and finish off the rest of this week. Just think about, what are the consequences of that and how can I change that picture? We all have relationships where maybe it's difficult to be expressive. We all may be processing experiences that are hard to talk about out loud. We may have job situations where we kind of have to bite our tongue a little bit. Different things. So I invite you to think about this across all the spectrums of your living and think about how can you increase your communication of your thoughts and your feelings and your expression of your thoughts and your feelings. So you can take this mudra, or if you want, you can take the Surya Mudra, where you take your index finger into the thumb, flip your hands upside down and sit up nice and tall. You can sit back in your chair if you want, or you can sit more forward in your chair. I'm going to move forward today so that I have room to move. The choice is yours. So close your eyes. Inhale your shoulders up the ears, draw them back down, and lift up your heart center. We're really going to talk a lot about the heart today and expansiveness of the heart. Start inhaling and exhaling through your nose. And as you inhale and exhale, allow your belly to expand with the inhalation and contract with the exhalation. As you breathe in and out, continue to lift up the heart center, allowing the shoulders to fall down, drawing on to the back. Now focus on drawing the breath as deeply into your lungs as you can. And focus on expanding all the structures of your breathing. Expanding the belly, expanding the ribs, expanding your chest muscles. Take note of what it feels like to be expanding all these parts of the body using the breath. Draw your attention inward, focusing on the third eye between your eyebrows. And dedicate some time thinking about expressiveness of what we think and feel. What feelings may you have that are unexpressed, that are unresolved? Perhaps make an intention today to allow them to be expressed. Take another nice long inhale and fully exhale and gently open up your eyes, finding your drishti gaze. Your drishti gaze is when your eyes are kind of at half mast, looking ahead of you calmly. And then inhale your hands up. Exhale your heads down. Inhale your hands out and up. Exhale your hands out and down. Inhale your hands out and up. And then reach as high as you can, lifting up your heart center. Maybe curling the top of your back ever so slightly, just lifting out of the hips, reaching your hands up as high as you can, lifting up the heart center. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, release it all down. Take note of what it feels when you intentionally open up the body this way. Inhale your hands up. And then on your exhale, fold over your thighs. Just lay your torso across them to start, dropping your hands to your feet, dropping your crown. Inhale into a flat spine and exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive, rising all the way up, leading with the heart. And exhale, draw your hands down, keeping your heart lifted, and draw your hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive over your legs, just laying across your thighs for now. Hands to your feet, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up, bringing your hands overhead. And then exhale, bring them down to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale, drawing your heart center to your thighs. Drop your hands, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhaling down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Bring hands to heart center. So we're going to start doing some opening of the heart, of the chest, and then we're going to go into some sun salutations. So let's first extend our hands wide out on either side and just use some isometric energy to draw them back behind us. And just feel the opening of the chest while you're drawing your hands behind you. You can drop them down if that feels better, if it's too hard to have them at shoulder height. You can even have them above if you want. Any position you have is fine. We're just opening up the chest. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, drop your left hand down and draw your right arm to the left, curling to the left in Ardha Chandrasana. Spiral your heart center open, drawing your right shoulder back ever so slightly, feeling that opening all on the right side. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, draw your right arm down. Move slightly over in your seat and take your left arm out alongside your left ear and curl to the right. Spiral your heart center up, draw your left shoulder back. Take another inhale, and then exhale, bring that hand down. Bring your hands overhead again on your inhale, and then exhale, twist to your right. Grab the back of your chair with your right hand. Take your left hand and place it on the outside of your right leg. Inhale, draw the crown up to the ceiling, and then on your exhale, deepen into your twist. Inhale, draw the crown up. Exhale, deepen. Take one more inhale, drawing up the crown, and then exhale, deepen. Inhale, bring both hands up, facing forward. And then exhale, twisting to the left, grabbing your chair on the back, placing your right hand on the outside of your left leg. Inhale, your heart center up. And then exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale, draw the crown of the head up. Exhale, deepen to the left. And one more inhale, drop the crown. And exhale, twist. Inhale your hands overhead, returning forward. And then exhale, swan dive over those sides. If you want to go between them, you certainly can. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. And exhale, drop your crown again. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we've done a nice warm up of our upper body. Now let's go on to do the rest of our body through some sun salutations, which we will get out of the chair to do. I'm going to move these blocks aside. And I'm going to turn my chair so that it is facing, the seat part is facing me. If you want to have the taller part facing you, that's acceptable. It all depends on where you're at in your practice and in your ability to stand and have extension in the legs. So I'm going to show two variations of the sun salutations with our lunges. The first variation is going to be with knee on the floor in the lunge, and the next variation is going to be with the knee off the floor. You're invited to not have your knees on the floor at all and only have your knees up high. You can change the length of your feet in your lunges. You don't have to be deep in your lunges. You can have your lunges be very wide-legged and deep. It is entirely up to you. Stand in front of your chair in Tadasana, lifting up the heart center. Let's draw the hands up again. Lift up the heart, lift up and out of the hips, reaching your hands to the ceiling. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, draw your hands down, bringing them up to heart center. Take a nice inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale them up. And then exhale, swan dive forward, placing your hands on the chair. And then continue to descend with the forehead on the chair. If you need to bend your legs, feel free. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your right foot back, dropping your knee. Go ahead and adjust your knee and your front foot in any way that works for you. And then keeping your hands on the chair, inhale, lift up the heart center. And then on your exhale, place your hands firmly on the chair, lift up your back knee, bring your left foot forward to join your right, and move into a modified downward facing dog. Initially, if you're feeling tight in your hamstrings and in your hips, you might start off with just bent legs, reaching forward instead of drawing your tailbone backwards. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, take your right foot forward, draw to your left knee. Inhale your heart center up. And then on your exhale, rise up, lifting up the left knee, bring it forward to join the right foot. Inhale your heart center up, flat back. Exhale, forehead to the chair. And then inhale, rise all the way up into Dasana, hands meeting overhead. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the chair, drop your forehead. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and take your left foot back, dropping your knee. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale, lift up your left knee. Bring the left foot forward to join the right. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not what I meant. Take right foot back to join the left. Sorry. Inhale. Exhale. And then on your exhale, take your left foot forward, drop your right knee. I lost my count for a moment there, everybody. Inhale, heart center up. Exhale, place hands on the chair. And now bring right foot forward to join the left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So the next variation that I'm going to show you is going to be for those that want to stand only and who may have a shorter stance. So let's place the chair so that the top side of the chair is facing your body, so the back of the chair. So placing your hand on the chair, inhale your hands up, circling over above. Exhale, swan dive forward, moving your heart center towards the chair. Take your right foot back, and you can take any variation that you want in terms of length of your foot distance. Inhale your heart center up. Exhale. Take your left foot back to join the right, moving into your modified downward facing dog. And you can be any way you want in this. So ideally, you want to be able to really stretch your arms and your heart. So I like to move my body far enough away from the chair so that my arms can be fully extended. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, take the right foot forward. Inhale, heart center up. And then exhale, take left foot forward to join the right. Inhale, lift up the heart. Exhale, down. And then inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, placing hands on the chair. Draw heart center to the chair. Inhale. And then on your exhale, take your left foot back. Inhale your heart center up. Exhale, take your right foot back to join the left and move into your downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. On your exhale, take your left foot forward. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale. Take your right foot forward. Inhale up. Exhale your heart center down. And then inhale, rise all the way up, hands joining above. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So this one's a really good modification if deep knee bending is difficult for you. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you the standing version with our third round of sun salutations. And this will be a more extended version. So what's really nice about chair yoga is it can be adapted for those people that don't have as much mobility and strength. But it can also be a real opportunity for opening up the body for those of us who like to use the chair as a prop to really help with our alignment and really focus on extension. So let's stand up on the chair again. Inhale, hands up and overhead, meeting at the top. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands to the chair, draw the forehead down. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, take that right leg back. So now this is the most extended version. Placing your hands on the chair, inhale your heart center up, draw the shoulders down, and really focus on opening up that right psoas. And then on your exhale, placing both hands on the chair, moving left foot back to join the right. Fully extended downward facing dog. Take a nice inhale. And then on your exhale, take your right foot forward. Inhale your heart center up. And then exhale, place your hands down. Left foot forward to join the right. Inhale into flat spine. Exhale down, forehead to the chair. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the chair. Draw your forehead down. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale back. Taking your left foot back. Inhale your heart center up. Really opening up your left psoas. And then exhale, placing your hands on the chair. Move your right foot back to join the left and downward facing dog. And allow your heart center to descend. Inhale. Exhale, take your left foot forward. Inhale your heart center up. Exhale, right foot joins left at the top by the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And then exhale, draw your hands down to heart center. So we're going to take camel on the floor, and then we're going to do modified camel in the chair. If you want to, while I'm going on the floor, if you want to sit in your chair to do modified camel in the chair, that's totally acceptable. But for those of us that want to use the chair as our support for camel, and place your hands on the chair, draw your body up near the chair, sitting on your heels. My toes are tucked. Sitting on your knees, so standing on your knees rather. Toes are tucked, heels are facing the ceiling. So inhale your heart center up. And what I want you to do is keep drawing the heart up. Draw it up, draw it up, draw it up, and allow your back to curl. Using your chair as support, you can push into the chair. Now, if you want, you can lift one hand overhead. Or if you want, you can even bring it back, hanging onto the chair, and have one hand on the heel. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale. Rise up. Bring both hands overhead. And then exhale, bring both hands down. And now we're going to go into that again. You can keep both hands on the chair, or you can alternate and start to extend the left side more. Or if you're sitting at home in the chair, just lift up your heart center when I speak about lifting up the heart center. So inhale, draw your shoulders down, lift up your heart, lift, 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 and allow some curl in your upper back. Maybe take your left hand above, or place it on your heel, on your left heel behind you. And just use this as an opportunity to really curl the spine, extend up out of the hips, and lift up the heart center. One more inhale, and then exhale. Draw your chin to your chest and rise up. And let's sit back on our heels. Move back away from the chair. Sit back on our heels and just really extend our back. Allowing our hands to stay on the chair and really just stretch out your back muscles and allow length in the spine. Take a nice inhale. Fully exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Now, if you're able to lift up and out of the chair, I invite you to get out of the chair. We're going to go back to our feet. And let's take an upward facing dog using the chair. So move back into downward facing dog using the chair. You have complete long arm length from hip all the way to your hands. You're fully extending your arms. They're nice and straight, hollowing out your armpits, allowing your heart center to draw down in between. And then on your inhale, move forward, moving your hips towards the chair. Draw your heart center through and draw your elbows back by your ribs, drawing your hips towards the chair. Take a nice inhale, looking up at the ceiling. And then on your exhale, draw your belly button in and move back again into that downward facing dog. Now, if you find you need to shorten your stance to make this work better for you, feel free. Inhale forward into that upward facing dog, drawing the heart center through, drawing your elbows towards your ribs, lifting up the heart center, drawing the hips towards the chair. And then on your exhale, move back into that downward facing dog. Take one more inhale, moving the hips forward, lifting up the heart center, leaving the hands on the chair, drawing the hips towards the chair. And then on your exhale, move again into that downward facing dog. Ah, boy, doesn't that feel really, really nice. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's rise up. I have one more real fun heart opener for you. So one of the ways that we can really open up the heart is by doing reverse plank or tabletop. So if you find that it's hard for you to have the upper body strength, I'm gonna move my chair further back, to get up and lift your hips out of the chair, then you can just, sit on the chair, place your hands behind you, and just continue to focus on lifting up the heart. But for those of you that want to work on your upper body strength, your hip strength, and all of your back strength, you're going to join me in a plank. So there are different ways that we can approach this. So you can place your hands behind you and just lift up your hips slightly. That's one option. Having your knees bent, feet on the floor, or you can extend your legs, place your hands behind you, and then lift up your hips that way. So I want you to take the variation that's going to work for your strength and where you're at today. And you can work into more extended versions and forms as you go along in your yoga practice. Yoga is a journey. So let's inhale our hands overhead. Exhale, bring our hands behind us on the chair. Inhale, lift up our heart center. Just focus on lifting up the heart center, drawing your shoulder blades together close to the spine. Oh, just feel that wonderful openness. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, release. Now, let's go into a modified tabletop. So keep your knees bent, feet on the floor, place your hands behind you. Take a nice inhale. Fully exhale. And then on your next inhale, draw your shoulders together as you had before, and then lift up your hips. And if you want, go ahead and drop your head back. So this is just like tabletop on the floor, only our hands are on the chair, our knees are bent, and we are moving our hips up, moving our heart up. This should be nice. It should feel good on the lower back because you're strengthening all of your lower back muscles. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale. Drop your hips down. Inhale your hands overhead. And then exhale, bring them back down. So you may take one of those two first variations. Now I'm going to move on to plank. So I'm moving my hips to the edge of the chair. So my sits bones are still in contact with the chair. Straightening out my feet, or my legs rather, with my palms of my feet on the floor, the soles of the feet touching the floor, toes touching the floor, hands behind me. Take a nice inhale, lift up your heart center. Exhale fully. And then on your next inhale, anchoring on well to the chair, keep your hands in touch with the chair, lift up your heart, lift up your hips. Take two more breaths. One more. And then exhale, release it all down. Move back into the chair just a little bit. Inhale our hands overhead. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Let's do that plank again. So placing our hands firmly on the chair, moving our sit bones slightly forward so they're still in touch with the chair. Feet on the floor, legs straight. Take a nice inhale, lifting up the heart center. Exhale fully. And then inhale, lift up your hips, lift up your heart. One more inhale, lift everything up. And then exhale, bring your bottom back to the chair, sit back in the chair. Inhale your hands overhead. And then exhale, bring them down. So let's now do more extended forward folds in the chair now that we've warmed up the body and warmed up our hips. So maybe you want to create nice hip width distance or greater than hip width distance of your feet. Inhale your heart center up, bring hands up and over. And then on your exhale, let's descend down between the legs, dropping the crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down and place your left hand on the floor. Take your right hand to your hip and twist to the right. If you want, you can bring your right arm overhead. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, bring your right hand down to the center of the floor. Place your left hand on your left hip and twist to the left. Perhaps bring the left hand overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then one more inhale. Exhale. Bringing your hands down. Inhale, both hands up and overhead. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. So let's take one more beautiful, strengthening, heart-opening pose. We did Goddess last week. Let's do it again this week. So to move into Goddess pose, what we're going to do is we're going to basically straddle the chair on either side by widening our legs. And what I want you to do is lift up your heart center, draw your shoulders back and down so that they are stacked beautifully over your hips. And then work on your knees separating, using the muscles on your backside, your gluteus muscles, which surrounding your sacrum, imagining that those muscles are coming back, wrapping back on the back and hugging your sacrum. So feeling the activation of all of these muscles from the back of the hip all alongside your thighs. Okay, so just sit there in this posture for a moment. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now take Goddess arms. So lift up your arms, your hands to shoulder height. Draw your shoulders together. Flick your wrists up so your palms are facing the ceiling. Maybe take a mudra with your fingers. Lift up your crown of your head. Maybe open up the throat. Continue working your knees apart, engaging all those muscles on your backside. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. And then exhale. Drop your hands and bring your feet together. Feel that now that you've released those, feel that engagement. So let's move on to some excellent hip openers. Yay. So, almost in every single class, we take seated chair pigeon. It is so important to open up your hips. When your hips are open and fluid, then you have better back health. Notice that we stretched the side body today. We've opened up the heart. We've stretched out our hands. We've warmed up the back. So the hips are next. So let's take our right ankle and cross it over our left knee. And initially what I want you to do is just sit nice and tall. Just focus on sitting as tall as you can. When we do this, when we create space between each of our vertebrae, you're creating room for this hip to release on its own. And sometimes that's all we need to do to start is just sit with our ankle crossed over our knee and then draw our toes back towards our knee. So that if you have any tension in this knee joint, that you will release that tension. Good morning, son. Everybody, this is Miles. Inhale, lift up your heart center. Exhale fully. Take another inhale. And then on your next exhale, start to draw your heart center forward. Focus on drawing the shoulders back and down and drawing the heart center forward. So don't focus on curling down towards the leg. Focus on drawing the heart forward. Because when you do that, you lengthen the spine and you really target the stretch on the piriformis on the back of this hip. And when we have lower back pain, when we have sciatica, when we have sacroiliac joint pain, like I frequently do, this is the best stretch for that. Continue to draw the shoulders down as you draw the crown of your head and your heart center forward. Notice the difference when you purposefully make those adjustments. They're small adjustments. They're adjustments that maybe cannot be observed, somebody watching you, but they are significant in how they target this area of the body, this back area, the back of your right hip. Continue working the crown of the head and the heart forward as you draw the shoulders away. And again, notice the change. Notice where you feel that stretch. Where you should feel it is honestly all along this hip. You might feel a little bit of a tugging of the muscles as they move away from the spine, but you should not feel back discomfort. If you do, draw the shoulders back together more and lift up your heart center. And the longer that you stay in these kinds of poses, the more it gives the fascia the opportunity to release, thereby removing adhesions, removing crystallizations, calcifications, making yourself feel nice and limber and loose. Inhale, rise up. Now you might notice, without even really talking about it, over time, gravity does that job of drawing your heart center down towards your leg. So I don't usually coach people through that process. I just chat away and just tell them how to be aligned in it, because the body knows what to do and the body will release over time. Take your left ankle and cross it over your right knee. Notice if there's any difference from one side to the other. Most of us have a side that is tighter, and it tends to align up with our more dominant hand. So my right side is usually more tight than my left side, and it always has been all of my life. So I accept that. Yoga is about union, joining the yin and the yang and the right and the left and seeking balance. And it's a metaphor for life off the mat as well. But in doing so, in seeking balance, we honor the differences in each side of the body. So we respect that one side might be more open and we try not to exploit that. And we respect that one side might be less open and we try to bring it up to the level of the other side. So we try to treat each end equally. Take a nice inhale, lifting up your heart center. And then on your exhale, draw the heart, draw the crown forward, keeping your toes flexed back towards your knee. And just allow the body to do what it's going to do. Continue to draw the crown and the heart center forward, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And when you do so, you immediately increase that stretch. And some people may be up high, that's totally okay. And some may be finding that their torso lays across their legs. Each presentation is beneficial. It does not matter. Take another long inhale. And then exhale, let's rise up. Doesn't that feel good? You're going to thank your hips today when you're working. Trust me when I tell you this. Let's do another stretch for the hips. So take your right leg, cross it over your left leg. Reach in front with your left arm. Hug that knee and draw it into the body, drawing it up against your left shoulder. And just face forward while you're doing this. Sit up nice and tall and just hug it as tight as you can. Feeling the opening of that piriformis on that side. Knowing that the harder you hug your leg, the more benefit you're going to get. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, release. And drop that foot down. Let's take our left leg, cross it over our right leg. Reach forward, grabbing that knee with your right arm and hug that knee against your right shoulder. Feeling that beautiful stretch along the piriformis on your left side. So this is a marvelous antidote, everybody, to sciatica. So although we did hip openers today, you may have noticed a lot of hip openers really strengthen the back. Did I say hip openers? Heart openers. They really strengthen the back because when you're lifting up your heart and you're arching the back, you're strengthening all of your back muscles. And so I find these heart opening practices are really good for the whole body. They make us feel free, but they also make us feel strong at the same time. And isn't that how the heart is? The heart is a resilient center of the body. It does so much. It keeps us literally alive. And it is the center of our emotions as well. It is our connection to the world. Take one more inhale. And then exhale. Release that back down. Let's do a couple more half sun salutations sitting in our chair. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, dropping your torso in between the legs. Inhale into a flat spine, exhaling down. And inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take another inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale, swan dive forward, dropping your heart center between your legs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhaling down. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And let's go for number 3. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale your hands up. And then exhale, swan dive forward, dropping your heart center in between your legs. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine, exhaling down. And then inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So let's move into the restorative time in our practice. And I invite you, I think today I'm going to invite you to entirely get out of the chair, lay down on the floor, and place your legs on top of your chair. So this is similar to what we did with legs up the wall yesterday in our gentle yoga practice. So I'm going to turn my chair so that you can see me from the side at home. I'm going to lay down, move my hips up to the chair, and swivel my legs up. Now, if you want to just stay in your chair, you certainly are welcome to do so. But it is really a delight when we lift up our legs above heart level and when we allow there to be, you know, this reversal of our blood flow. And this allows the back to be fully supported by the floor. So there's not discomfort of the back as you're laying here on the floor. So take the time to remove any wiggles you may have going on with you. Maybe you need to do some shoulder adjusting so that you can find comfort in this position on the floor. You can have your hands resting on your belly. You can have your hands out alongside the body, palms facing the ceiling. Gently closing your eyes and start to inhale and exhale. Returning your respiration to normal. Returning your heart rate to a more normal state. And start to do a scan of your body to relax it. Looking for areas where your energy or your breath may feel stuck, or where you may be holding tension that you no longer need to be hanging on to. As you lay here, let's start from the crown of our head and work our way down. Starting with your crown chakra, imagining it in many colors, all the possible colors that there are. Imagine 1,000-petaled lotus sitting on the crown of our head. And breathing in and out gently, releasing any tension that you may be holding there. Moving down towards your forehead and towards your eyes, smoothing out the lines, allowing your eyelids to be somewhat heavy on your eyeballs, allowing your eyeballs to fall more deeply into the sockets. Drawing your attention at that point to Ajna, the third eye chakra, maybe seeing it in a glowing purple or indigo blue. Continuing to move downward. Moving towards your face, your cheeks. Relaxing your jaw muscle and your ears. And your throat, drawing your attention to the throat chakra. Relaxing the neck. Relaxing the tops of the shoulders into the mat. Seeing this chakra in a turquoise or a very light blue. Continuing to move down towards the heart. The heart chakra is in the color green, relaxing all your chest muscles, fully allowing your arm bones to rest on the floor. And relaxing your shoulders into the floor even more. Inhaling, drawing your attention towards the solar plexus, represented in the color of yellow, soft, glowing yellow. Relaxing your ribs, all of your abdominal muscles, and allowing the floor to fully support the whole length of your back. Taking an inhale. And drawing your attention to the space below your belly button, the sacral chakra, in the color of orange. Relaxing your hips deeply into the floor, hollowing out the lower belly. And then finally, drawing our attention to the root chakra at the very base of the spine, in the color of red. Relaxing all the muscles of our thighs, of our knees, our shins and our calves and our feet. Continue to lay here in Shavasana for 5 minutes or longer. It is so important to take time to restore at the end of your practice and to integrate all the benefits of your work. Thank you for joining me this morning for Chair Yoga. I invite you to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can be notified of any new videos. The light in me sees the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.